Another percentage problem is finding the rate. So if you are going to go back to the different things that you need to identify, you have to remember again that it is very important to be able to identify which of the three given is the rate, the base, and the percentage. And again, we will try to derive the formula because the thing that we want to find out now is the rate. So if you are given the basic formula for the percentage, which is equivalent to P is equal to R times B, and we just want to find for the rate, the thing that we are going to do now is, again, we just interchange the left side and the right side of the equation, so that the variable R will be the one which will be on the left side of our equation. So again, the R times B is equivalent to the P. Now, it will be the R that we want to leave on this side of the equation. Therefore, what we are going to do is to divide both sides by the B, because we want to simply have the R. So looking into this, the base will already be divided by the base, making it simply equivalent to 1. So what we just have is just the R. So R, which refers now to the rate. So if you are going to look into this, R is equal to P all over B, which means it's just the percentage all over the base. And that's the formula that we will be applying in solving for the rate. So let's look into some examples regarding finding the rate. So let's look into this. The plant for person reported that 873 of the 900 items tested met the quality control specifications for production. What is the rate of acceptable items? So in here, we already can identify which is the percentage and the base. So here there are 873 out of the 900 items tested, which simply means that the rate can be solved by simply having 873 divided by all over 900. So that is what we are going to do. Again, 873 all over 900. So what are we going to have here? If you are going to divide 873 by 900, we can simply have your decimal point, because as you notice, 873 is less than the 900. So we aren't going to append now a certain number, which is 0. So we have here a 0 group of 900 and 873. So this time it will be 8,730 that we are dividing by 900. So we can have the 87 with the 9. You can have we can try it by 9, because 9 times 9 is 81. So if you are going to have this will simply mean that you are getting 8,100. And when subtracted from the 8,730, you will have a 0 here, and then 3. 7 minus 1 will give us a 6. So let's bring down another, or let's append another 0, and 600 or 6,300 divided by the 900 here will of course give us a 7. So 7 times 900 is now equivalent to 6,300. Now, this is now the equivalent in decimal. So this just simply means that this one is equivalent to 0.97. And since we are to find for the rate, and it's supposed to be in terms of a percent, or yeah, it should be in percent. That means you have to multiply this by 100. So let's change that into 97%. Okay, 97%. Now, another thing that you can do here is simply have the fact that you, after having the decimal point, you are changing it to percent. So I would advise you that if you have something like this, you just automatically just get the percentage. Like in this case, it's 873 and then all over 900. So you copy that 873 over 900 and then we multiply it right away with 100%. Okay, 100% over 1. Okay, anyway, that's just the same. 100% is still the same as equal to 1. Now, what are we going to do? We can now make use of your cancellation process. So, if you will be looking into this, we will just cancel the 900 with the 100, making this now equal to 1 while the 900 becomes 9. So, you will be working with smaller number, not unlike this one where you are dividing by 900. So the only thing that you are going to work with in this case is just the 873 and the 9. So we are now dividing 873 by 9, and of course you will still have the 9. 9 times 9 is 81, and subtracting now 7 and 1, there is 6, and you have to bring down the 3. Dividing again 63 by 9, the answer is 7. So multiplying 7 and 9, that is also equivalent to 63. So if you are going to check, you are getting right away the answer, which is now in percent form because of the symbol that you can see there, which is existing. So therefore, the answer that you will be getting there is 97%. Okay. Again, if you want it in decimal form, you can just divide the numbers, the percentage divided by the base, and the answer that you will be getting there is in the form of a decimal number. After having the decimal number, multiply that by 100, and you have already the rate. Or you could just have the percentage divided by the base, but you multiply it already by 100% so that the final answer is already given in percent form. Okay, so that is how we solve for the rate. Let's look into some other examples. Okay, here in the new product focus group, 6,700 of the 8,375 customers rated the product as very good or superior. What was the rate? So again, identify the percentage, identify the base, and all you have to do is to divide that. So we have here now the rate is equivalent to 6,700, okay, of the 8,375. So that is all over 8,375. And we are going to multiply this by 100%. Okay. So again, we just multiply that by 100% so that we can deal with this using our cancellation process. So for us not to be confused, you put the 1 there as the denominator. Now, looking into 100 and 8,375, we can actually divide that by 25. So 100 divided by 25, it's equivalent to 4. So if you are going to divide the 800 or 8,300 75 by 25, the answer that you will be getting there is, okay, you divide this by 25, the answer that we will be getting there is 335. Okay. So that is actually one thing that will make this one simpler. Now, if you cannot do that mentally, what are you going to do? Just get the 8375, and then again, you divide that by the number which we use in dividing the 100, which is 25. And we have 3 groups for that. So 3 times 25 is 75. And then we can now subtract 83 minus 75. Of course, there is an 8. So we have to bring down again a 7. So 87 by 75. Again, there will be 3 groups there. And then 3 times 25. Again, that is equivalent to 75. And subtracting now 87 and 75. 7 minus 5, that gives us a 2. 8 minus 7, that is equal to 1. And then bring down another 5. Now you have in 100, there is 4 groups of 25. So 125, that means you have 5 groups of 25 in 125. So that means you have now 125 minus 125. And so the answer that you are getting there is 335, which is now the new numerator. But as you notice, this 6,700 can actually be divided by 335. Okay, because if you are going to investigate this 335, looking into 335 now, if you multiply 335 by 2, sorry for that. Okay, we'll multiply that by 2, 10, that will give you an answer of 10, carry 1, 6 times plus 1 is 7, and then you have 2 times 3 is 6. So you are getting already the 670 there. So which simply means that this is 335 is a factor of 6,700. So that simply means that we can also cancel now your 6,700 with the 335, making that this is 20. If it's, that this simply means that if you have 20 there, that becomes now, or that will turn out to be 6,700. So there is your 20. So 20 multiplied by 4 here, okay, that will now result to 80. So 80, and then of course we are going to copy the percent sign. So 80% is the answer for this. That is now the rate, 80%. So we have right away the percent form. Okay, so that is how you can possibly solve this. And let's have one more example. 18 is what percent of 150? So 18 is what percent of 150? So how are we going to deal with this? The same thing. You have to get 18. So again, the rate is equivalent to 18, and that will be divided by 150. But after dividing by 150, we go to the multiplication of 100%, so that we have an answer already which is in percent form. Okay, so we can divide this. We have now 100 being cancelled with the 150, making the 150 equivalent to 3 and the 50 equivalent to 2, because the divisor that we use for both of them is 50. So 100 divided by 50 is 2, 150 divided by 50 is 3. And as you notice, the numerator here and the denominator can be cancelled again. So they can be divided by 3. Both of them can be divided by 3. So the 3 here becomes 1, while the 18 now becomes 6. So from here, what is left are just the numbers 6 and 2. So that simply means that the answer for this problem is 6 times 2 is 12. So 12, we have it. And then you copy the percent sign. So our answer is 12%. So 12% of 150 is equivalent to 18. So that's the answer. And that is how you could solve for the rate. Again, remember, the rate is simply, okay, percentage divided by the base. And since we want to get the percent form already, you just multiply now by 100%, so that we will not be getting a decimal value but the percent form. That's how you find for it, or for the rate.